What's up, Wolfpack? It's one-on-one with Micah Elan.
So, Micah Elan, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm chilling. It's been a nice day today. A little bit of sun, which is nice. You know, a little different than the cold weather we're used to here.
I would say, yeah, like the sunny days in England, they're kind of deceptive sometimes. It looks sunny, which means it could be hot, but no. Sometimes it'll give you sun and maybe 5-degree weather.
No, it's funny because right next to my window there's a radiator. So like sometimes in the morning I'll open up the window and it'll be sunny. So I'm like, and I feel the heat from the radiator. So I think it's the sunshine on me. I'm like, oh, it's a warm day today. So I put some light on and I go outside, it's freezing. I always get fooled by it because the radiator's right next to the window. I think it's the sunshine, but it's not.
It always gives off deception. It's crazy. You open up your windows. Because in my house there's a bit of a conservatory thing, and you look outside. It's a great day. You step outside. No, I'm getting back in with a cuppa.
No, it's cold. Great days have been rare so far in this winter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Obviously you haven't been able to sort of get much of the summer days here in England so far. I mean, when it has been hot, how does it compare to places that you've been around in the States?
It's great when it's warm. Like sometimes we'll go out and walk down on the river, or we have a nice little walk that me and my house go on up near some park with these farms, and it's pretty cool actually. We really enjoy it. Whenever it's sunny, we always make sure to get outside. If it's warm and sunny, we gotta get outside, enjoy it for a little bit. So it's nice.
I'd say that river bit, the River Severn going up, it's a real nice walk. I've done that plenty of times. There's a lot of stops around there. Is there any particular spot that you enjoy when you go around there?
We usually just go across the river and then down the river, and there's a bridge. If you go really far down, there's a bridge. We kind of just look at there's some swan in the river and stuff. Then we walk across the bridge and make our way back.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice spot in the beauty of Worcester. How are you finding, kind of settling in? Obviously, you were here before, some of the American guys before. How was it settling in at first?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was difficult just because of COVID and everything. It's been a little bit of an awkward year in terms of we can't really hang out with each other outside of practice or go out and experience the town. So I'm kind of looking forward to now, because this is kind of the first time I'm going to actually get to go out, hang out with some teammates, go to a restaurant, things like that. So I'm really looking forward to this last month, honestly. But in terms of settling in, I feel totally settled in. I've been here for 8 months now, so it kind of feels like a home away from home a little bit. So
I was saying, then the additions of Fresh, Lamar Kimball, and Brandon Anderson as well. Obviously, you're now living with them in your shared accommodation. How has it been getting to know those guys?
Yeah, that's been really cool. It's definitely been a fun part of this experience. It's just, we almost feels like college a little bit, because we're just we're all first year out, 22, 23, 24, whatever, living together in the same house, and we just, we kind of have similar schedules, similar lifestyles, so we just get into some fun business together, just as it goes,
So I've got a couple of questions here for you, so maybe ultimatums, maybe a few decisions that you got to make here, and I'm going to start off, as I always do, with the most important question: cats or dogs?
See, when I grew up, I had a cat.
All right.
Which I liked a lot because my cat was super chill, very low maintenance. It would just come around when you wanted to hang out with it. It was very nice. But in general, I also like dogs. My brother has a dog right now. I really like my brother's dog. It's very fun, high energy. You can mess around with it, go on walks with it. So I can't tell you specifically what I like better. I know most people have a certain opinion, but I kind of like both, depending on the cat or the dog.
A bit of a fence sitter there.
Yeah.
What type of breed is your brother's dog?
He has a pit bull.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a cute little pit bull. I don't know how old she is actually. But
talking about deception, pit bulls are maybe some of the most slandered dogs around, but they're actually really protective of young kids and stuff, aren't they?
Yeah, it just depends on the pit bull for sure. They're a little bit aggressive, but if they like you, then they really like you. So that's what's cool. Because at first, with my brother's dog, it was it was a little bit skeptical of me when I first got to get to know it, but now we're pretty close. So that was cool because I like to earn its trust. I don't like it if I just go up to a dog and it loves me automatically.
It's kind of how humans are, aren't they?
Exactly. You got to work for it a little bit. So that makes me like his dog even better, because now it likes me. So it doesn't just like everybody.
Exactly. It's a special little check mark. That dog likes me. It doesn't like you.
Exactly. That feels good.
So what do you prefer out of films or books?
films for sure. I don't really read books, to be honest.
Do you know?
Yeah.
So I know a couple of the guys are. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like trying to get the perception. So what would you prefer out of films or games as well?
I like watching like TV shows probably more than films. If films, you mean movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really watch movies that often, just because it's like such a commitment to watch a full movie. I don't play games that often. I'll play games if I'm with my friends and they're playing games. And when I grew up, I played a lot of games, but I just don't have a console. I don't want to spend like the money to buy one. I'm like always out. Like whenever, if I'm here, I go back home. I'm bouncing between a bunch of houses when I'm back home, so it's just like, I don't have a stable enough place to buy a console.
I was like, they're expensive now.
Yeah, they're expensive too, and they're always like, there's always a new one coming out. I can't keep up with it. Like every 2 years, you gotta spend $500 on a new game console. It's too much for me.
Exactly, and then maybe you got to talk about all of the potential future teammates that are talking smack on 2K and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I can handle my own in 2K. That's really the only game I can play. So.
Well, I'll switch up to TV shows as well then. So TV shows or music.
Oh, music, 100%.
Music, big music guy.
Yeah, if I could do anything when I'm just chilling, like I'll watch TV shows sometimes too, but I just like listen to music.
Who's your top artist, the go-to artist at the moment?
At the moment, Rod Wave.
Yeah.
He's dropped Soulfly, this album, and me and the house have just been listening to it nonstop. It's a great album.
I was saying, it sounds like the music taste, the house that you're living in at the moment. The sort of music taste is through the roof at the moment. Obviously, Lamar listens to Kendrick Lamar and like the kind of the American rap, and then obviously you like how do you combine in terms of music taste with have you got like a shared playlist?
Yeah, it's kind of cool actually because we all have music taste that's like a little bit different. Obviously, like Fresh is from Philly, Brandon's from New Jersey, like New York type situation. I'm from the West Coast. So I like to show them the West Coast music that they often haven't heard, or sometimes they do, but they don't know it as well. And then they have more like the New York or Philly type music, and like also the down south, like Florida, like Rod Wave and Kodak and stuff like that. So we kind of share our music taste and we like learn songs from each other.
So how important is music to you?
It's very important. It kind of just runs through my head all day long because it just fills all the blank spots in my life. So like whenever I'm doing something, I'm also listening to music. Like when I was in school, even if I was doing an assignment or I was reading a book or something like that, I was listening to music. Like if I'm walking to the gym or driving, I'm listening to music. If I'm working out, I'm listening to music. Before I go to sleep, I'm listening to music. Like that's just, I don't know, that's just what I do to consume the thoughts in my head. Like it just is always running.
Do you have like different name playlists that go with different activities?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I have running playlists. Like I started making them a couple years ago, and I just have like running playlists for different moods that I'm in, I guess.
Yeah. So who would you say of all time potentially? Who would you say your top 3 musical artists?
Of all time, man, that's such a tough question. Definitely J. Cole has to be up there. He hasn't dropped anything in a while, but like back in the day, that's like all I would listen to when I was like young, when I first got into high school or something like that. J. Cole's definitely in there. I'm trying to think who else. Top 3 of all time is such a tough question. I might have to throw Kanye in there because that was also back in the day. Like his new music is cool too. I like it. He's trying something different. But back in the day, like that's just what I remember listening to when I was growing up.
Love a bit of old school Kanye.
Yeah. I want to say Drake. Just because like he's also always been there kind of a little bit. But I know that's just such a typical thing to say. But I'm gonna just go with Drake.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, like, your first answer was J. Cole. Would you say he would probably be the first guy that came to mind if you were to make an all-time list?
Yeah, he would be the first guy that comes to my mind. And not in terms of, I don't think that necessarily J. Cole is the best of all time. I just think that he was always there in my life when I was listening to music. So for me, he reminds me of like the best memories, experiences, that kind of stuff. Music is more like, I could say, oh, there's a bunch of musicians who might be more, or artists who are more talented or whatever, and I can respect that, but music, a lot of it is just the experiences that I had when I was listening to those songs. Because every time I listen to them now, they like bring me back or remind me of good times, things like that, or bad times, whatever it is. But still, like the music just kind of brings back memories of your life. So
like, music's a really, really powerful method of media. You know, when you think about it, like all these messages that can be spread through the form of music. I mean, is the message of music sometimes what you're sometimes drawn towards as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think sometimes it depends. Like I said, I have different playlists for different moods. Like sometimes I just want to listen to a song that's just like is upbeat and I don't really care what they're saying. I'm just listening to like how they're saying it kind of. But sometimes if I'm like more just really interested in listening to some music that I think I can relate to or I think the world relates to, then there's also times for that. It really just depends what kind of mood I'm in.
Yeah. So what would you rather out of, maybe sometimes you're not, really fussed to cook, or maybe you're, I was talking to Lamar as well, he likes to dish up that 5-star cuisine. Are you more of a cooking guy, or are you more of a takeout guy?
Yeah, I'm cooking 100%. We cook every day.
Yeah.
2 meals a day. I get my breakfast/lunch, and I'm always eating like eggs and toast and bacon, something like that, a little smoothie on the side. And then for dinner, I cook something up, something good. It's different.
What's your go-to, like, what's the main Micah dish?
Like in the past, I would have said like a pasta and meat sauce, because that was like the go-to when I was back home.
Yeah.
But here, I'm always making wings. I don't know why. I think it's just because I can get them for cheap at Aldi. It's like £1.19 for a big pack of wings. So like I just make wings all the time.
There's a lot of free advertisement in these one-on-one
Yeah.
Aldi, because they just provide so much good, like, quality stuff.
Yeah, it's cheap. I'm thinking about it, like I never want to go out and spend like 10, 15 pounds on wings when I get a big pack for £1.50.
And if you can make them yourself as well, it beats going out and getting them.
Yeah.
Like spending exactly like 15 quid.
And I make them better than the restaurant too, so.
Oh, there we go. The challenge is there.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe you can open up a not even like a restaurant when you play days are done.
Our house could open up a restaurant for sure. We got a versatile menu.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So obviously, I was speaking to Lamar. He likes to cook up, sort of like the breakfast. He's a big breakfast type of guy.
Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned as well. What type of stuff does Brandon cook up as well?
Brandon is a French toast guy every day, which is crazy. He's like, it was one day Fresh got in the kitchen and he made French toast. And like, it was a specialty. Like French toast isn't something that you eat every day, at least in my opinion, or in Fresh's opinion. And Brandon saw him cook it and was like, you know what, let me try that. Ever since then, he's been a 4-piece of French toast guy every single day. That's his go-to in the kitchen for sure.
Wow, that is insane.
It's impressive that his body can take it and digest it before practice. That's before practice every day.
I saw him one time coming into the game eating, I think it was a croissant, maybe.
No, not yet. Chicken. That was a piece of chicken. I know what you're talking about.
I was filming him at the same time.
Yeah.
I sent him the video as well.
I remember that day because I remember you had the camera out and I saw him holding a piece of chicken. I'm like, bro, you can't eat chicken while you're walking into the arena. You got a piece of fried chicken in your hand. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then it actually went into the video too. There's a slow-mo of him chewing.
He's got an impressive diet.
Oh,
yeah, his body is a miracle for him.
Metabolism through the roof. Right?
Really, he really does. He has a metabolism through the roof.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm asking Fresh this too. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Easy question for me. Mine is just what's it called when you travel from place to place?
Teleport.
Yeah, teleportation.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's a really popular choice.
Because think about it. I could right now, I could go home before, home, I'm talking about back to San Francisco, back to California for an hour, see, do what I want to do back home and then go back here, whatever. If I want to go to Spain for a day, I could go to Spain for a day, it'd be no problem. I would just make life so much cooler.
No passports needed, especially with
Exactly.
this whole, the pandemic situation as well. It's kind of brought to light how you can't exactly travel that much. I mean, do you think that's elevated the idea of teleportation in your eyes?
Yeah, and also just now living, this is the first time I've ever been out of California for more than a week. So I grew up there and I went to school there. So now being away from there for so long, I realized, man, you can't just go back and see your family and friends and all that. It's really hard, also with COVID, but also with a 15-hour journey. It's you just can't really get back and forth. Where you are really does matter a lot.
If you could, do you have a favorite hobby outside of basketball?
Yeah, I say my favorite hobby kind of is surfing.
Yeah.
I got into it a little bit ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, but I wasn't that good. And then when the pandemic hit and I was went home from school and I was back home and I wasn't really doing anything, I just started going every day just because it's really close. It's 20, 25 minutes away from my house. So I just go every day over the entire summer, and I got pretty good at it. So that's something I miss for sure.
I'll say you'll be hitting the waves when you're going back.
100%. I can't wait. When I go in the ocean, I just feel it just feels good.
Is it quite sad coming to the UK and be oh, there's no beaches nearby at all?
Yeah, it's a little sad for sure. Because I've always, for my entire life, like I said, I've never left California. I've been an hour away from a beach my entire life. And especially, I don't know, when I was a kid, me and my dad went to the beach, in San Diego, which is Southern California, a little bit. It was a little bit of a road trip for us. And I just had such a good time with him, just being in the ocean, like with the waves, playing with the waves. I didn't even know how to surf at that point. We just go in together and just swim around. And so like that just kind of became part of what I found to do, like as a hobby, I guess, was just go to the beach and I'd go and swim or whatever, mess around in the water, chill on the beach. So it's been, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Maybe when this is all over, you can take some of the UK guys and try and teach them how to surf.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And actually, me and Henry were talking about it a little bit, because
Yeah.
I think he's tried surfing a bit, and I think over the summer he was planning on going to Cornwall. Is that a place?
Yeah.
Cornwall, because he said there's good waves there, and he wants to learn how to surf a little bit. So we kind of talk about it a little bit.
I think Henry should take you to Cornwall.
Yeah, I would love to go. That would be so much fun.
The ice cream is very top notch. I'll tell you that
Okay.
now. so recommendations. So what would you say? Obviously, we're talking about music. We're speaking about TV shows. What do you think your biggest addiction right now is?
Addiction? I don't know if I have like any addictions. I'm not addicted to anything. I guess I'm addicted to like food. I like eating. Like sometimes I feel like I just want to keep eating. I don't know. I don't think I'm addicted to anything, which is a good thing in my opinion. I don't like being addicted to anything. So.
Obviously, as I say, we spoke about TV shows. What's the go-to TV show at the moment?
I'm honestly not watching a TV show. I just finished Last Chance U, the basketball version, which was cool. And then I haven't got into a new one since. I've just been listening to music. But I do, Fresh just got into Peaky Blinders, which I watched, I had watched previously. And that's a good show. And we were talking about how when you have a good TV show, it makes the time fly by for sure. So I got to get into one, definitely.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm going through Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's a good. I just finished Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was a good show.
Yeah, very good.
Funny, yeah. The Office is funny too, yeah.
I tried to watch the UK Office, wasn't really into it, but then the US one, it's so much better.
It's so funny, yeah. They do some crazy things in that show.
And then finally, could cause some controversy, but this is your opinion. Best NBA player of all time.
Ooh, that's a tough question. We can actually get into this argument every once in a while in the weight room.
Yeah.
I have to just say LeBron James, just because he's the only one that I've seen throughout his entire career. I'm not disrespecting any of the players in the past. I think that they definitely could be like Jordan or Larry Bird or whoever you want to say. They're definitely up there, but just because the only person I've really watched their entire career, like every single year, is LeBron, and he's just impressed me every single year. I gotta say LeBron.
I would say it's kind of like a generational thing, because I would also say LeBron James, because we're both kind of similar ages. I think so. I think that's kind of how it is. You see some guy coming in, you see all of his moves, and you're watching from such a young age. Whereas Michael Jordan, you have to go back and watch him. Before the internet, you obviously couldn't really go back and watch him. So, for sure, LeBron James is a great answer. So, we'll move on to another basketball player. Maybe not LeBron James, but you've played with them all. It's the Worcester Wolves locker room.
Okay.
So, I've got some select questions that may get you some eyeballs in the locker room. So who would you say, and this is always my first question, who is the worst dresser? Who has the worst fashion sense?
Worst fashion sense? That's a tough question. I'm trying to think of everyone right now. I might have to go with my guy Lucas. No hate on Lucas, but he wears the same tights every single day and the same shoes every single day. And he has holes in his tights. We were talking about the other day, we need to get him some new tights. And sometimes he has such long limbs, he'll wear these white tights with these white tight arm sleeves, and he just looks like a young baby deer flying around the court.
I like how you just compared Lucas to like Bambi or something. So worst dresser, Lucas McGregor. Who would you say has got the best fashion sense? And you can be biased here.
I'm trying to think, best fashion. I think it's got to be, in my opinion, probably Brandon or Fresh. I like their fashion the best.
Yeah, do they pick out the cool outfits?
Yeah, they have cool outfits. They always have nice things that go together.
Yeah.
Nice shoes. So.
Very coordinated in terms of colours as well.
Yeah, it looks well put together.
Yeah. Now, music, I know is a big part of your life, so this is kind of the test. Who would you say has got the best music taste?
Also Brandon or Fresh, but also these questions are hard because like I know their music taste way better than anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't really know what everyone else is listening to, but Brandon and Fresh, they definitely put me on a lot of good songs.
Well, in that sense, who do you think either does or would have the worst music taste? So have you had the chance to listen to anyone else's?
Honestly, I would say that most of the players, like, I don't assume that people are listening to the best music in their head. Like, when people start playing music, like, no disrespect to, like, Dan, I like his music, but I don't really like UK drill music. And I know that's, like, his favorite type of music. He's always playing UK drill, and I understand that where he's from, that's really good music, but I just don't like it as much. I just can't get down with it. I've tried, like, people have tried to put me on to UK songs, and I like UK music that's kind of more calm and like chill vibes, but the drill music I haven't been able to really find my rhythm with.
Yeah, I had the same talk with Boogie, with Mike Parks Jr., and he's not a fan either.
Yeah, same with Brandon and Fresh. Like, we just can't really, like, some UK music is good, but the drill, we just can't really, I don't know, something about it.
Not a fan.
Yeah, it's too much a little bit sometimes. I don't know.
It can be. I'm in a complete agreement. So, who you wouldn't let, say if you had the aux cord, you wouldn't let Dan anywhere near it?
I would, because I'd like to hear what he's about to play. I just don't know if I'd like what he's going to play. But I definitely want to hear what he has.
Just to stand by, just in case to turn it off.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the locker room DJ of the group?
Locker room DJ, I think Fresh would be like the best locker room DJ, because like sometimes when we're doing, like, let's say we're just chilling in the house or whatever after a game, he'll like put together a little playlist and put it on our speaker in the house, and he always puts together a nice little something for us.
But something to hype up the entire before a game. Yeah. Which player do you think would win in a rap battle?
Fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he like to maybe like he's like cooking and he likes to
He's
spit
got
a number.
Yeah, he's got some bars. He can a little bit. Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to get that on. At some point.
You should. You'd be surprised actually. He can definitely rap a little bit.
Oh, I don't think I'll be surprised. I think I have a very good inkling, because I was saying, speaking to him as well, he has influences like Kendrick Lamar, guys like that. So, and they were all really into wordplay and stuff like that. So, speaking of contests, who would you think out of the entire locker room, and again, you can say yourself, who would win in a 3-point contest?
I gotta go with myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you back yourself?
I would back myself up on that one.
Yeah.
I don't miss very many threes in practice when I'm like just doing drills. I just
So you and Brandon get pretty competitive on the floor, don't you?
Yeah, we used to play. Now he's injured, obviously, so we haven't done it in a while. But we used to play a little shooting game. It was just a little like shooting game we do every day. Get pretty competitive.
And so I once stopped by, to speak with Brandon as well, and it was so it was so exciting to see. Like, you guys are so competitive.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of trash talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic.
That's most of the game. It's only 10 shots, so the game is not that much about shooting. It's more just about like trash talking the other person for their 10 shots.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll miss 1 or 2, and then you can still win.
Then you get inside their head a bit.
Exactly. That's what the game's all about.
Speaking of trash talk, who is the biggest trash talker in the locker room?
Biggest trash talker in the locker room. Probably Mike.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it because Mike will stand up for himself for sure. Like, there's a couple times people on the court have tried to test him, and he stands up for himself. He doesn't let people like say anything to him. So I respect that for sure.
He doesn't like getting bullied.
Yeah, he does. He's not that he doesn't like it. He just won't get bullied. People don't bully Mike. Yeah.
Exactly. If you see the size of him, you're not going to.
Yeah, exactly.
If you saw what he did over the summer as well with the backboard, again, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Who would you say is potentially the smartest player in the locker room?
Smartest player. I think Marty has a lot of like intelligent IQ that we don't see in the States. Like, he has a lot. He like thinks about the game a very different way than maybe we're used to, and like he has reads in the pick and roll, stuff like that that like I still like learn from. And he just like kind of views the game in a European way, which is like different than like how we see the game, and like sometimes it's like some good basketball IQ.
So there are some insane passes that sometimes like no one else will see on the court, but he will thread the needle somewhere and get it up, or maybe it's thrown up for like a hoop or something. The vision that he's got is crazy. Like, I'm guessing you've been on the end of a lot of crazy passes from my opinion.
I always love it when I'm like hiding in the corner or something and I'm wide open, but I'm like, he's like on the left side, dribbling away from me. He's not going to find me, but then he might just flick it over. And I'm like, there it is.
Knocked it down.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the fastest player? If there was to be a race through the entire locker room, who do you think wins that race?
Fastest? Probably Tala. Tala's got that like sprinter. He's always like sprinting. He's always quick around the court. Like he's a defensive player. He's a pest. Like I'd say he's pretty quick. I don't know. I actually don't know how fast he is because I think he's quick. I don't know if he's really fast, but he's very quick. I have to see him run to know how fast. Obviously we never run sprints in practice, so I couldn't tell you. But
I was saying his last outing as well. He stole the ball, ran out of the court. It was, he's as I would say on commentary, he's quicker than a hiccup.
Yeah, he's very quick.
He looks like he's very quick. I mean, anyone else that you think could potentially challenge Tala?
Like in speed, I don't know. Maybe just like I don't know how fast Fresh is, but I could see him being fast as well. He's pretty quick too. Yeah.
And out of everybody, who do you think is potentially the most competitive?
Most competitive. I think. That's a good question. Everyone's pretty competitive.
Yeah.
Fresh is pretty competitive though.
Yeah.
He definitely has like. When it comes to game time, he's definitely very competitive.
Yeah.
And he'll get into it. He'll talk some trash too. Like you could tell he wants to win more than anything. So
even when it comes to drills, does he start maybe giving some trash talk?
Yeah.
Does he maybe get in a strop if he doesn't win?
It's on and off. Like in practice, it's like some days it'll be like everyone's going at it, and then those days everyone's just going at it, and then some days it'll be like more calm vibe. So it just depends on the kind of the vibe of the day.
Well, I guess we'll come, kind of to the end segment of the interview. Kind of talking, towards the, maybe like a few deeper questions. So, what would you like to have accomplished before your time as a player is done?
That's a good question. I would say I want to definitely experience the world. Like I want to travel the world, experience a whole bunch of different cultures, a whole bunch of different places, things like that. And I want to feel like at the end of the day, I accomplished what I set out to and was like enjoyed doing it. So I need to I need to always be enjoying it. I need to have fun with it. Like that's obviously the most important thing. But then also to kind of like I've always wanted to play professional basketball and I've always wanted to be successful with it. So I want to set out to kind of feel like I accomplished those goals that I set for myself.
I mean, you've kind of hit the first goal playing in the British Basketball League. You've hit the professional, but it's about the maintaining that sort of level as well. So, I mean, along with those, do you have any maybe like short-term goals that you want to do maybe in the next maybe 5 or so years? Yeah. In the next 5 or so years, I just want to get to a place where I've experienced a few different places in the world. Like I definitely want to travel around for sure. And then I want to get to a place where I'm playing. Every time I play, like if I play in a year, I'm playing for somewhere where I feel like the team's winning is on my back a little bit. Like I want to be, if I'm playing in 5 years, it's going to be to the point where I'm like help really contributing to that team winning and feeling like every day when I go out on the court, it's like, okay, I need to play well to win this game. Because that's why I like love playing basketball more than anything. Obviously being like a rotational player and stuff is like part of the process, but ultimately that's what I want to get to. I mean, you're a young guy, so there's plenty of learning to do for that, and you can pick the brains of everyone. Like, I mean, as you say, Mark's quite smart. You can pick the brains of him and all these guards that you play with, so that then you can take that, and as you get older, you hit your prime, you're going to be a cornerstone of a team someday. I'm guessing that's the goal.
That's definitely the goal. Yeah, that's kind of like it's either going to be that or nothing. Like I'm going all in for that, and if like it can't be that, then we'll figure something else out. But that's got to be the goal.
Are there any like personal milestones that you want to hit? Maybe either just before you play, or maybe just after you're done as well.
Yeah, I want to make a lot of money. I want to be rich. I want to retire. No, I'm just kidding.
I want a boat.
Yeah, I want a boat, big house, nice shoes, fancy car.
A boat where you can just dip off and then start surfing.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't know. I just want to be happy. Like that's the main goal, really. Whatever I'm doing, like it doesn't have to be because of basketball or because of whatever job I'm doing or wherever I am. But like the main goal is just to find happiness and have like good relationships with everyone in my life. Like I just want healthy, loving relationships and happiness.
Yeah.
That's like the most important thing for me, and money too. I need money because I want to do fun things. So
Yeah, I mean, money is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, growing up in Cali, you got all these players around you. Were there any players that you grew up idolizing?
Grew up idolizing. I don't know. For me, I guess when I was a kid, like Steph Curry was the guy because he was like when I was growing up and really watching basketball, obviously before him, it was like Monte Ellis or like C.J. Watson. Because I grew up a Warriors fan. It's like C.J. Watson, Monte Ellis, whatever, people like that, Baron Davis. But then Curry came and he just really changed the Warriors, and I kind of started to want to play like him and be like him. So just because he was like my favorite player on my favorite team, I would kind of watch him a lot. And I don't know if I like idolized him, but I definitely tried to like learn from him and just was a fan for sure.
Yeah, I was saying, would you say that you kind of try to style your play now as like a Stephen Curry?
Yeah, I think so. I think I tried a little bit to make my game like his. Obviously, there's a lot that I need to do to be like a Steph Curry, but I think I tried to like, when I was like growing up and I was shooting my jump shot, I was like, all right, I want my jump shot to look like his. Like I want my game to look like his a little bit. So.
So you do have quite a really fast release when you do make those shots. So the Stephen Curry influence is definitely seen throughout your play.
Yeah.
I mean, are there any parts of any more parts of Stephen Curry's game that you want to sort of add on?
Yeah, I think there's different ways that he finishes that are really impressive. It's something that he didn't have as much when he first came into the league. He was like a shooter and he had always quick handles, all that. But now like he gets to the basket and he can throw up a crazy floater or like a really nice layup, reverse layup, things like that like all this different finishing, and he always feels like he's moving quickly, but he's in so much control of what he's doing. So
and obviously outside of basketball, do you think you have are there any goals that you want to pursue after that or outside of basketball?
Yeah, I think that I just want to do something when I'm done with basketball. Like I'd like to do something that just I feel like I'm contributing to the world, like making it a better place in some way. I don't know exactly how yet, but in some way I want to kind of contribute to the world, feel like I'm giving back a little bit. These guys are killing me back there. Yeah, Brennan and Fresh.
Right, that sort of brings us to the end of our interview now, and obviously we haven't been able to have fans in throughout the season. They've been watching from home, supporting from home, and no doubt you are obviously one of their favourite players. So if you have any message for the fans, please let it be known for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, I just appreciate you guys' support all year long. Obviously, we've missed you a lot in the games. The fans contribute to what makes basketball so much fun for us to play and for you guys to watch. But we appreciate your support and hope to see you in the stands soon.
Micah Elan, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yo, you guys need to quit it back there. You're killing me.